Welcome to a special edition of the Referrals podcast. Introducing our new Daily Dose. We've assembled the ultimate crisis response team for your business. Generous leaders from around the globe teaming up to teach, guide, and lead you through this time of isolation and quarantine. Now let's meet your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey everybody, this is Michael J. Maher with another episode of the Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity. Have you ever wondered how to become a local celebrity? You know, here's the thing. You've always heard that it's who knows you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm sorry. It's who you know, right? That's what you've always heard is like, it's, you know what? It's all about who you know. But I'm telling you something. What if I told you that it's all about who knows you? That's right. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. Today, we're going to show you how to be the one who people know and trust and like in the community. You're going to become a local celebrity, and we've got just the guy to show you how. His name is Mike Cuevas, and we will bring him on in just 1 second. We've got a few announcements real quickly. One, you were told and have been leading a Facebook group, right? Create and lead a Facebook group. Number two is you are doing 5 a day. Identify 5 really positive, energetic people. Then you're doing a VIP form with them with a phone call or a Zoom. And then you're inviting those 5 people to your Facebook group. You're going to build your Facebook group 5 people at a time. That's all you got to do. Just keep doing 5 at a time. By the end of the year, you'll be over 1,500 people in your Facebook group. It's a long game, doesn't have to be a short game, but you might be surprised at how quickly it does grow when you're providing value to your Facebook group. Now, also, tomorrow we have the one, the only Stacey Alcorn. You know you've got a good guest when your top guests are asking when Stacey Alcorn is on. I mean, how cool is that? We have leaders who want to learn leadership from Stacey Alcorn. She's on Friday, May 1st. I have an announcement. You guys ready for this? I have an announcement. You're going to love it. I saved it for this episode. We said that we were going to do the Daily Dose until the end of April. Well, I have an announcement for you. Because of you, we are doing the Daily Dose all the way through May. And the May calendar, the Daily Dose, 1 p.m. Eastern every single day, Monday through Friday, when the technology allows us, is going to be all the way through May. We're going to go through May 29th, and I will tell you, we are taking the Daily Dose. We are doubling down on the Daily Dose, baby. You will not believe what we are doing in May. So the big announcement is, you know what? We're not going to stop Friday. We are going to continue this all the way through May. And I mean, we have people like Barry Habib. We've got Ann Schutte, who has a group of 54,000. We have Gogo Bethke, who is an Insta amazing model. She's huge on Facebook and Instagram. We've got Johnny and Tora White. You've heard part of their story. A lot of people have referenced. We've got Steve Sims, who is basically the guy who can make anything happen for celebrities. The stories that guy's going to share with you are going to be off the chart. And then just wait. I have a very special announcement for you about May 22nd. You might want to mark that specially on your calendar, May 22nd. So that is what we are doing with the Daily Dose. Now, I have to give a shout out to one of our listeners and viewers of the Referrals podcast and the Daily Dose. I got a handwritten note. What? Yeah, like this is not a dinosaur. This is a really powerful communication medium. So it says, "Hello, Michael. I wanted to send you a note of appreciation and thanks. During this time of quarantine, I have received countless emails from coaches and motivational gurus soliciting my business for thousands of dollars to use their programs to navigate these quote unquote unprecedented times. And it makes me all the more grateful for your heart and generosity to make the Daily Dose available for free. All caps, underline, exclamation mark. I have personally experienced highs and lows, productive and unproductive, motivated and unmotivated days. Raise your hand if you can definitely relate to that over the past month. But one thing that has consistently encouraged and lifted me out of my funks has been the Daily Dose, smiley face. You truly walk out your mission, and I am better today because of your teachings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Christina McElrath, who is a real estate agent with Red Baron Real Estate in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Christina, thank you so much for that. And I will tell you what, it's a labor of love. And when it's heart work, it's not hard work. And this is definitely hard work. We're here to help. And I will tell you what, we are definitely here to help with today's guest. This is the reminder to start your watch party. Start your watch party just by hitting the share button. Go up to start watch party. It will say Generosity Generation. You will need to click off of that and choose your group, or you can do this on your personal profile. You will not be sorry. You will love to share this with your personal friends. You will also love to share this with your Facebook groups. Do that now. And I know between 20 and 30 of you do this with every Daily Dose. And I really, really appreciate that. So who do we have on today? You know, it's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. And what we have today, we have a normal dude from Chicago on who has worked his butt off since he graduated college. He's married and he has the world's best kids. We'll see about that. I'm sure every dad says it. They are my why. They are why I wake up every day to bust my butt training you on how to better your business. Do you have a why in your life? Without one, getting on top is pretty tough. The key to real estate, the key to business is relationship building, because business is built on networking, as you learned from Gina Bordeaux. When you're an expert at building relationships, marketing your business, quite honestly, becomes easy. People want to make the wisest financial decision of their life with someone they know, like, and trust. Now, Mike warns us ahead of time that he's not very polished and sometimes has spelling errors and sometimes says words wrong. I don't know whatever, right? I don't like to put on a front for people and shoot from the hip. I will tell you exactly what I think. And so don't be offended by anything on my side or the way I talk. It's just who he is. I mean, he is the real estate marketing dude. So without delay, let's welcome to the Daily Dose, the Daily Dose of positivity and productivity. This guy exemplifies both of those. Mike Cuevas, the real estate marketing dude. Welcome.
What's up, Michael? Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here, and thank you for the introduction. You said something. You're right. It's not what you know, it's who knows you and what you do. I love that. Yeah. Except it's going to probably play a lot into our video conversation today.
Yeah. I truly believe it's the truth. You know, it's one of those where it's why we're identifying the most energetic and positive people. Is what's going to happen is we're going to know these people, and then they know us better. They're going to connect others to us, and we're going to grow our network with positive and energetic people, you know?
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you 7 or 8 really quick questions, if that's okay. We call it kind of like the hot seat or the VIP seat, and it helps our listeners and viewers get to know you a little bit better on a personal side. Is that all right?
Yep, of course.
All right. So first of all, what's your birthday?
July 23rd, 1980. I'm a cusp. Leo, Cancer. I like to go with the Leo, center of attention.
I love it.
Right on the cusp.
What's your hometown?
Chicago, Illinois.
And what high school did you go to in Chicago?
Carl Sandburg High School, home of the Eagles, southwest suburbs of Chicago, Northern Park, Illinois.
The Eagles, the Fighting Eagles.
Yeah.
So most people would consider you which one of these? You can only pick one out of these 4. Number 1 is straight to the point. Number 2, social and outgoing. Number 3, steady and dependable. Or are you number 4, cautious and perfectly accurate?
1.
So you're number 1. What would you consider your number point. 2?
Huh? Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, A and B,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And so what's your spouse's name or significant other's name?
Allie.
How do you spell that?
Allie.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways to spell Allie.
Yeah.
My brother has a daughter, Allie, and they were like, yeah, it's Allie. And then it was like, man, it'sAlly, Alli, Ali, Allie. There's like, they didn't even realize like how many different ways there were to spell Allie. So she gets her name misspelled all the time. Yep. What is Allie's birthday?
July 9th, 1984.
So July 9th. I love that. So you both celebrate your birthdays in July. Yep. What's your anniversary? Is it like July 14th or 15th? Because
that's October 20th, 2011.
10/20/11.
Actually, it's cool. 2012. 2012.
All right.
It's all a blur nowadays. You know what I mean?
I get it. It's like, what day is it?
Right.
You know what day it is? It's Mike Cuevas Day. No kidding. Like, that's how we run our day. We truly believe the Daily Dose is the centerpiece of our day. So we want to make it the masterpiece of our day. So everything else is kind of a pyramid from that 1 o'clock slot, and which makes the technology even more frustrating when it happens. But now, what would you consider your spouse out of the 4 options I gave you earlier? What would be her number one? What was it?
Cautious
And perfectly accurate. What would be her number 2?
D, cautious and over. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
We are complete opposites.
Yeah. So she's cautious and perfectly accurate.
Cautious and 100%.
With a chaser, right?
Yep.
So which is she absolutely not? Is she not straight to the point, not social and outgoing, or not steady and dependable? Like
straight,
0.
Not straight to the point.
Okay.
Basically, it's like vinegar and oil over here.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's what we do. Here's what I have to tell you. This is such a great point. And I want everybody below in the comments, I want you to put what your answer is. Are you a 1, straight to the point, 2, social and outgoing, 3, steady and dependable, or are you 4, cautious and perfectly accurate? I want you to put that down there. Now, I want you to then think about your spouse and what are they? And I will almost guarantee that they're not the same number you are. What we do, and this has come out time and again, Mike, time and time again with this, is that, opposites attract. We tend to marry those that complete us. Thank you, Tom Cruise. And it's one of those where, we really do is the high ID or the high 1-2 or 2-1 will marry the high 3-4 or 4-3 for balance, So it is amazing how often that I don't know if it's vinegar and water, but it's definitely opposites attract. So children, you have children?
I have 2.
All right. How old are they? What's their
8.
names?
Chloe's 8, my daughter. Camden is 4, my son.
So Chloe is 8 and Camden's 4. What's Chloe's birthday?
July 22nd. She was born
Another
4
July.
hours between mine.
Yeah, and then
she actually ruined my birthday party that year. My surprise birthday party. She decided to come out.
Well, surprise.
Yeah, it was a good
literally,
surprise.
Right?
Yeah.
And Camden?
February 25th.
Very cool. Any pets?
Nope. They're trying to get me to do one here on quarantine, but I'm still holding my ground.
Yeah, good work on that. You have a favorite color?
That's a good question. I like blue. I think blue signifies trust.
Okay. Blue.
Blue and black.
All right. And do you have a favorite TV show?
That's a good question. Recently I do. I think right now I've been watching Ozark.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Yeah. I'm a Netflix junkie. We've been on Groundhog's Day for the last month and a half.
Do you have a favorite non-alcoholic beverage? Like if you were going to order something during the day or with lunch or something like that?
Sparkling water.
Okay. And how about alcoholic beverage? What would you order if you went to the bar?
Champs. Well, if I'm at home, I like champagne. If I'm at a bar, Tito's and soda.
Tito's and what?
Soda.
And soda. Very cool. And what's your favorite dessert?
I don't know. It's a good question. I sort of stay away from a lot of that stuff. But if I'm to choose, I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite dessert. You guys might not think it's a dessert, but to me, pizza is a dessert. So That's my favorite dessert.
It's all good. Pizza is lunch, dinner, and dessert, right?
Yeah, we've been eating quite a bit of it at random.
Do you have a favorite musical artist or band?
Dave Matthews.
Okay. How about a favorite, is there an actor or actress that when they come out with a movie, you make sure you see it, or you're scrolling through the old Netflix movies, it's just it seems like that actor or actress, you're going to watch it?
Not so much. The only one I idolize is God.
Huh?
The only one I idolize is God. I don't have a favorite celebrity or anything along those lines.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite athlete or sports team?
Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls.
There you go. So
And
you're loving The Last Dance, right?
Oh, yeah. We're watching it right now. Great show.
So bucket list, like what's next? What is something on your bucket list that you hope to achieve next?
Well, about 6 years ago, I made a commitment to put a real estate marketing dude in every real estate brokerage. And until that is done, I won't go on to stage 2. So I'm still working on that. And it's probably a 10-year plan. And I'm about halfway through right now. And we're just starting to make some progress with it finally.
Love it. If you were to go on vacation somewhere, where is your ideal vacation spot?
Cabo, Mexico, right on Medano Beach.
I love it. I love it. Boom. That was it. That took me 7 minutes, so a little bit longer today, but you're cooler than the rest. So it is one of those where I will tell you, thanks for doing that. It helps us get to know you a little bit better. And I will tell you, this is like, I've been looking forward to this one for a week. It's like, so you're the real estate marketing dude. Like, how did you become the real estate marketing dude, which is such a great brand,
Well, it's a good question. I think it was 2012. So when it was 2011, 2012, when the short sales started to dwindle out, I knew I had to reinvent myself again. And I've always been one to sort of ride with the niches in the real estate business. So if I recall, when I started, it was 2002. That time in Chicago, new construction was really big. And I was positioning myself as Chi-Town Mike. I mean, back then we used to sell floor plans. Like we would sell out a high-rise 300 units in like a week, just selling the floor plans. But new construction was the niche it had to go. So I went from Chi-Town Mike, and early on I knew branding right away. I knew I had to do something to stand out. It just comes natural to me, like center of attention, right? There's the Leo thing. But what was interesting is that short sales came. Then we rebranded the Chicagoland short sale, and that's best years of our career, 2007, 8, all the way I say to about 12. And then once 2012 came back, the mistake I made at that time in my career was that I went way too deep into short sales. Whereas people thought that that's all I did. And at the time it was, but what it did was put a big dent into our typical residential business as the market came back. So what happened was at that time, I remember I was sort of burnt out. I'll be completely honest with you. It's like, I like the marketing side of real estate, but as I got older, you do this for 17 years and you do hundreds and hundreds of deals, you get burnt out on this and you want to go to the next level in your career. And that's exactly where I was at in my personal life. So I'm like, I got to do something different. So everyone thought I was crazy because if I remember, I don't remember anyone that had a cartoon logo at that time. And everyone's like, you're crazy, dude. You're going to start like pissing people off and they're going to think you're unprofessional and they're going to think you're this and you're going to think you're that. I'm like, you know what? That's great, because here's what happened. At the same time, I realized that, and this happens to anyone. So if you're listening to this, if you ever realize that the last 10 clients that you actually close a deal with become like your friends, whether you're drinking with them or you're doing family activities, you're going on vacation. And the reason that I came to come out is that you attract like people. We all do. And none of that was on coincidence. So I also realized that at that time, I hated dressing up. I hated doing all this stuff. And I would repel attorneys, suits, doctors. Like, that's just not my cup of tea. I attracted people just like me. So I'm like, why don't I just make it easier? Because the truth is everyone lives somewhere. So there's not a shortage of business.
Right.
We don't have to and I think one of the problems is that so many people try to resonate with everyone instead of really dialing with who they are. And really resonate with that. So once I did Chicago Real Estate Dude, it took off. It did well. People started remembering me as a dude. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start my blog, which at the time was called, this is a perfect branding example, at the time was called Rookie to Rockstar. I wanted to train real estate agents on how to create content around their brand. And I'm sitting at a marketing conference and the guy speaking said something along the lines like, people don't care what you do, they care how you do it. People don't remember what you do, they remember how you do it. And then something clicked and I went, I'm a dude. Why am I trying to put on Rookie to Rockstar? I'm just going to become real estate marketing dude. And it happened I was in Denver when that happened. I went home and I rechanged my whole website. And then that's what the brand was really built. So it all sort of happened. It started to happen like naturally, I think.
Well, you became who you are, right? You put a name to it that who you are, and they say the riches are in the niches, and you've kind of reinvented yourself a couple of times. And then finally it clicked. And I want that to kind of be a lesson for all of the generosity generation and the people who are watching this is, first of all, is always be seeking that moniker or that nickname or that thing, because I believe that the purpose in life for people is to be referable. I truly believe that. Like, I'm sure that the people listening to this did not realize that they were going to learn what their purpose in life was during this episode. But your purpose in life is to be referable, right? Have high character, be highly competent at something, and communicate. Well, what's really powerful about those three things is that a nickname or a brand actually incorporates all three of those. It builds trust, which is the high character. It shows your competency under whatever it may be. He's the real estate marketing dude. And then the third part is communicate. It instantly communicates who you are and what you're about. I believe it's one of the greatest brands I've ever heard. Real estate marketing dude. He is the real estate marketing dude. And I'll tell you the other added genius that he did on this that I'm not sure he even noticed before we talked about it is his moniker, his cartoon character it's not lampoonish. It's not cartoonish. It's actually more like a caricature, but it's wearing a suit and tie. But that's genius. You might think, well, the real estate marketing dude, it should be somebody in casual wear or whatever it may be. But the thing is Mike never has to wear a suit because his logo has a suit on it. So they instantly think more professionally than if he had been in some casual wear in the picture. That's why I truly recommend to all realtors, when you take your professional pictures, take them in a suit and tie, take them in a dress. Don't take them as you normally want to dress, but people need to know that you can be that ultra professional person if they need it. If they know, then they never have an excuse. They never even question it. But if your first picture that they see is you on a beach or you in casual wear or whatever it may be, because it's you actually have to then be more professional when you meet with them. Whereas Mike, he can be himself. He can be a dude when he meets with people because he's got that suit and tie. He's got that professional like thought in the back of people's minds. So did you do that intentionally or did that happen by accident?
Yes, I did it intentionally for that exact reason. I knew that I had to maintain professional. So here's what happened. And regardless of the brand, so Chicago real estate dude and real estate marketing dude do totally different things. 3 years ago, I was in Chicago selling real estate. Now I'm selling video services to real estate agents and lenders and investors. But my dudeness never changed because it was just who I was at the end of the day. So if people don't realize that nobody remembers what you do, guys. Like nobody, if you create a video strategy or a content plan telling people what you do, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Mm-hmm. People remember how you do it, not what you do. So the dude allows me to do things on how a dude would. So I'll give you an example. Part of marketing is the customer experience that we provide. And when you build your brand and your messaging into it, it's very effective because it provides visual imagery, provides a lot of social media, and it provides storytelling. Mm-hmm. So we had a mastermind in our office, I don't know, a couple months ago before the coronavirus thing happened. We had like 15 people fly in and come in. And so you would think that, you come in a mastermind, you have like these nice professional settings, right? Well, here's the truth. We actually forgot to buy the name tags. But in true dude fashion, what did we do? What would a dude do? Well, we cut up pieces of papers and we duct taped them to the front. So they had these dude name badges that looked like a kid drew them. But that's part of the dude brand. Yeah. Right? So part of that became a really good. So I think a lot of us try to be so professional, we forget about how more important it is to be personable. And I challenge anyone listening to this to go back and about your last purchasing decision with anyone in the financial space. Mm-hmm. And a financial planner is a perfect example for this. Like, have you ever realized that the financial planner stops calling you the day you invest your money? Mm. So you ever noticed that? Mm-hmm. I had a friend in college once. He graduated college. He's the type of guy who always goes through jobs, gets fired every 6 months, 12 months. 1 month, the guy calls us. All of a sudden, his tone's different. Hey, Mike, what's going on, dude? Yeah, I'd really like to go out and have some lunch with you. I'd like to take you to lunch. I'm like, is this Jensen Ware? Do you remember the last time who is this guy? I thought he was a robot. I was instantly turned off. Okay. And the rest of our friends got the same call. Before we know it, all of us are on the fraternity brothers are on a back channel. Be like, hey, what's up with Jensen? He's trying to sell us stuff. Everyone was instantly turned off. Yeah. Because we knew how he was saying it was to get at the end goal. So when we're marketing our real estate business, it's a constant game of attention. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything, but what I am trying to do is I'm trying to remind them what I do for a living, because we live in such a referral dominated business. And when you own their attention, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I love that. So
Are you enjoying the Daily Dose? Want to connect with thousands of other business owners that are winning the referral game while working from home right now? Head over to the Generosity Generation Facebook group. Connect with leaders, visionaries, and business owners from all over the world. Go to www.joingengen.com. That's www.joingengen.com.
what is the first step someone should take if they're wanting to build a brand? Like what is that very first step to building something that's memorable and catchy and that kind of thing?
Well, it's sit back and it's a lot of times I see it's hard when you're in the weeds. It's hard to find one, especially as a real estate agent, to look at yourself as a brand. But because you're an individual and we don't look at ourselves as the business, but 96% of people hire you, not the agent or not the brokerage you're affiliated with.
Right.
So it feels weird to market yourself as a brand, right? So, but if you were to start a bakery or a retail shop, would you not be marketing that brand the exact same way? So that's the first thing is, one, realizing that, look, you are the brand. Mm-hmm. Two is, how would that brand enact? What is that brand's communication strategy? So let's take a hotel chain, for example. You have the Ritz-Carlton and then you have Holiday Inn. They both provide spaces for you to sleep, but they're totally different experiences, right? So what is that experience to go out with you? I used to spend, this is a sad stat. So I remember when I used to buy gift people stuff during the course of the transaction, I always thought it should be a monetary thing. Mm-hmm. And in Illinois is an attorney state. So I cannot tell you how many times I would just pick up the attorney's fees, $400. Mm-hmm. One year I'm doing my taxes at the end of the year and I'm like, holy crap, this is like $30,000 in home inspections and attorney fees. And guess what? None of those people that I would spend, basically I'm giving them $500 at closing, right?
Yeah.
I think any of them remembered any of that.
Yeah.
No. They remembered the $50 bonsai tree I bought for them. Right. That's sitting in their kitchen that they see every day and they get a mental reminder of me. So when I saw that, I was like, boom, you have to determine like what type of experience you're going to provide. And based upon what that is, that's your communication strategy. Mm-hmm. And it's really just whom you are. So let's go through a couple examples. Yeah. If you're a parent, great. Provide a parental experience. What do parents do? They discipline your kids. So provide a very disciplinary real estate experience. If you're a veteran, great. Provide a very boot camp-like experience. Get very disciplined and military friendly. But whom you are as an individual and who the average of your clients are should determine your content strategy. And that is so important. Do you think I'm scared to get on video?
No.
But if you put me doing dance moves, you bet your ass I am.
That's right. It's
because I'm uncomfortable doing that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So TikTok's not your game right now?
I'm going to get on it when I get done with my projects. I work in a very linear brain fashion. So I have project, and TikTok is on my list, but it's probably 3 to 4 weeks away. I love TikTok because it's 100% personality based.
And you got Chloe. Chloe could teach you how to use it.
She is, but she's trying to get on camera.
Yeah.
She's trying to teach me how to use it, but I'm trying to get her on there. She won't do it with me.
Yeah. So the first step, let's define that, right? Is first of all, like name it. Like what would you want to name your business? And the other part of it too is maybe asking others, I'm looking for a name for my business. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to come up with the real estate marketing dude for yourself. Yeah. And what you might want to look at is, what are people calling you already? It's interesting here is that, so I've been doing this Army of Ambassadors tour for 2 years. And it's amazing how often the referral king has come up, and I've been rebelling. Like even George Washington didn't want to be a king. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I've been really rebelling against the referral king thing, but that's what people are saying. That's what they're commenting on. But it's one of those where, A, you can embrace it, or B, you can just like let it set its course, right?
Yep.
And so it's one of those, like, what are people already calling you? Or tell them to fill it out, like real estate blank, like you're real estate guy, the real estate guy, the real estate
Totally.
gal, the real estate, guru, the
Well,
real. Yeah, go ahead.
So you don't decide your brand, God does. You were just born that way, and you have to realize that, right?
Yeah.
And here, I'll give you a really good story on that. So here's what I see with agents a lot. So when we do rebrands, we go through a different perspective. If you're an agent that's been in the business for 15 years, your brand is your name.
Yeah.
But if you're a brand new agent that you haven't been in the business, then sometimes you could come up with like a Chicago real estate dude type thing. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen this firsthand. So we had one gal, her name was Erica Dionda, and we were rebranding her. She's been doing this for 17 years. And that's when I realized, I'm like, and we're trying to come up with this nifty name because she has like a hell of a personality. So like there's a lot of marketable stuff for her brand. However, people knew her as Erica.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know her as the real estate dudette or whatever we would have came up with, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you're designing, I think where people get stuck is they believe their brand either has to be a name or it has to be a logo or it has to have a specific design. Listen, folks, your brand is what you stand for, not what it looks like.
Yeah.
And when
you
land,
mean I can go away from the roof with the roof line and the name underneath the roof? What?
100%.
You mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
the roof and then your initials, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's a logo.
Yeah.
But a brand, like when we design a logo, it has to do three things. Just like the real estate marketing dude logo does. One, it has to tell people what you do without you opening your mouth. Two, it should tell a story. Yes, a logo could tell a story. The Egyptians have been doing it since the beginning of time in the caves. That's how our brains perceive imagery.
Yep.
And then three, it has to remind people you're in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that branding is a combination of what you're seeing visually, what you're doing verbally, and the body language you're enacting as well. And people don't remember what comes out of your mouth. They only retain 10%. They remember how it comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So on content creation, I'll give you an example. I have you'll enjoy this. You'll appreciate this. We have a guy in St. Louis, and he's a Cardinals fan. You know those guys, right? One of them.
Hey, be careful. I'm a Cardinals fan.
Oh, you are.
I know you're a Cubs guy. So I just have to warn you. I have to warn you before you go down that path, right?
Okay.
Stan Musial is, that guy. So yeah.
There are two fan bases in the United States that people, and unless you're from there, you don't like them, right?
Yeah.
And it's Chicago against St. Louis and that. Yeah. But so this guy's a huge fanatic. So we built him a series called.
What's interesting about that though is like us Cardinals fans really respect Cubs fans, and the Cubs fans, they have to respect the Cardinals fan. You want to go to a game, go to Wrigley and just sit in the crowd. They know the game. You want to know the game? Go to a Cardinals game, and you know what? Those people know the game. They literally, they're keeping score. There's been people keeping score for 50, 60 years at Wrigley Field, Oh yeah. So anyway, they kept a lot of those scores where the Cardinals beat the Cubs, but they're keeping score. It's all. I'm kidding. All right. So,
but that
Cardinals
case,
fan.
So a little subtle reminder, we had him buy one of those little Christmas cardinals, and he just puts it on he just clips it to his shoulder, and that's what's on his videos. So that while he's talking about real estate, no one's listening to what he's saying. They're looking at the cardinal bird, right? Mm-hmm. And what do you think the people in St. Louis are going to do? Like, that guy's a Cardinals fan? Instantly, he has the attraction of the vast majority of his market. But more importantly, he has the attention of them because he's the only mortgage broker that's doing videos with a bird on his shoulder. Yeah. It's about doing things just a little bit differently, but in your own way that give a hint of that personality.
Yeah.
The number one thing I get on my site, and the same thing happened in Chicago, and this is when I realized I was onto something. People would come in, and at that time I was doing Facebook ads, and I was just putting my content in front of people who were likely to move. Mm-hmm. And when people would come in off the site, what they would do is they would dude me. They would bro me. What's up, bro? You the dude? Hey, what's up, dude? And instantly I already have them. Yeah. Now, that's when I was selling real estate. Well, guess what? The exact same conversations happen with real estate marketing, dude. Mm-hmm. And even though what I've done has sold, I moved states across the country, my branding never has. My personality never has. And if I was going to start a baseball team, say with you, our team name would be called The Dudes.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah. The dudes. Right. And then, honestly, the dudettes. Right. Which is kind of like a great made up word, but you could do co-ed and it could be the dudes and the dudettes. And then you could even have like the dudettes boot camp, no, you wouldn't want to do boot camp. You would do like dude camp, right? Dude ranch. Oh my God. Did we just do that right there? That just happened.
So,
the dude real estate marketing ranch.
Everyone in our team, the dudes are dudes, the dudettes are dudettes. And the whole experience is like, all right, like when people interact with us, that's part of the experience. Like, all right, so this is your chief dudette. Her name is Megan. Mm. And that's how they act. So we're building our whole brand ties in with the experience. And what people remember the most is that. Yeah. Not that we're creating really cool videos, not that we're doing this. They're remembering like the customer service. And it's been, even since the quarantine, our team has actually excelled more in service. Yeah. Like, we're getting better reviews. And I'm like, they just been like, I'm like, we gotta do better because people remember how we serve them, not what we do.
That's right. So what are the next steps? So first step is, let's say I've got this name, like I'm going to be the real estate marketing guy, or I'm going to be, I don't know, whatever it may be. So what is the next step? What do we need to do next? Do we need to get a logo now? Do we need to ask some questions? What's kind of the next steps?
Well, your logo is part of your overall brand. It's the visual part of it. So yeah, I definitely suggest it. If somebody's going to build a real estate brand, I would definitely suggest building a real estate logo. It's like, how would I open up my new bakery without a sign in front of it? Mm-hmm. It's no differently. And if you're marketing your brokerage's logo, you're just building their brand, not your own. So I never understood the reason. I can't tell you how many real estate offices I left when they used to force me to put their cell phone number or their number on my signs. Yeah. I'm like, no, those are my leads, dude. Like, you didn't source this client for me. So I left them. Yeah. So you have to, once you figure out like what your theme is, which is really a spitting image of yourself. Who do you service? Take the average of your clients and average them. And you should probably see this at the same time. It's like, I didn't start selling higher end properties because I went into a higher end market. Yeah. My friends just started making more money. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's so my audience, I started selling higher end houses because I got older. That was it. But at the end of the day, my audience, I was going to service the same market, and I wanted to be a luxury agent. Trust me, I would love to sell $2 million properties, but guess what? That's not my cup of tea. Yeah. Yeah. And I have nothing in common with the majority of those people. But I know that.
So here's a squirrely question. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Here's a squirrely question is what agent in America do you feel like has the best brand other than yourself?
I don't know. That's a really good question, but
or who has a good brand who's kind of the first person or first male Altman. Or female? Who?
Josh Altman.
Okay.
So let me give you a couple different names. Some people might. Josh Altman. Look at any of the $1 million listings. Yeah. People. Now, did those agents, granted they had a show on Bravo. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And yes, that helped them grow. But a lot of people know who Kyle Whissel is. He's a top agent in San Diego. Mm-hmm. Kyle Whissel doesn't just happen to be the top agent that has a media department. No, he's the top agent because he has a media department and he's generated attention around his buddy in his market knows who the hell he is. When agents who have these videographers and this media company, there's a direct correlation you see with this. Yeah. And the truth is that the agents who are getting on video are just more referable than the ones who are not. They're more popular than the ones who are not. They're not smarter than the other agents. Just more people know what they do than versus what you do. Yeah. So if you look at it as a popularity contest, remember, 72%, folks, of people close with the first agent that they meet with. 72%. Yeah, wow. And when we look at lead generation, look at all the groups, Michael. We go in these groups, Facebook, lab coat agents, real closers. 99% of the conversations on lead generation. Folks, less than 10% of the closings come from lead generation. Right. And from super duper email autoresponders. They come from the stuff that Michael's teaching you guys and stuff like that. But yet, big tech makes it sound really sexy, right? Yeah. The only recession-proof business model that you'll have in this business is your personal brand because people will always move, but lead generation will always change. Yeah, I love that. In the comments below, I need your help. I want you guys to put like, how would you refer me to a friend? How would you reference me? You can actually help me develop my brand right now. How would you reference me? Like Michael, he's the guy. He's that referral, whatever it may be. Like what words would you use for Mr. Nice Guy? Yeah. What, you know what? There was a guy who branded
Nice Guy. I think it was Nice Guy finishes first. And then there's the Mr. Nice Guy. God, I'm trying to remember. Nice Guy. Was it Nice Guy Sells Homes.com? I'll have to check that out. But yeah, the Nice Guy, right? There's a lot of the nice guys in real estate. And I think that the big thing on that is try to, as much as possible, just like retain your authenticity and your genuineness. The more it's you, and the thing is the first 2 or 3 you do may not be you, and that's okay. And like Mike was saying earlier, he was the short sale guy during the short sale thing, which kind of got him pigeonholed into the short sale world for a while. But you know what? He rebounded pretty quickly, and he's just a message away from letting people know I'm not just short sales, right?
Correct.
The short sale is one of my solutions that I can provide. We also provide service to first-time home buyers, first-time home sellers, and move-ups and typical residential real estate sales. But you know what? There are a lot of short sales now. A lot of people want to avoid them, and we're willing to do them for people like you, people like our friends. That you're a message away from whatever that may be. And
that's why when they talk about, I think you asked this earlier, they're like, well, how do you build a brand? Well, you build a brand through consistent communication to the same audience over time, period.
Yeah.
If we fail to remain in communication with our spouses, you get a divorce.
Yep.
If you fail, and I'm gonna give this a really good example. So I'll give you, this is the way I usually, people are like, oh, that makes sense. So we all have, when I graduated college 17 years ago, I have people I still communicate with on Facebook, even though I haven't personally seen them in 17 years. So one of the guys I had in college, this is a perfect lesson on branding. One of my friends I had in college, his name's Matt. Like, we would go the bars together, work out together, go on spring break together, chase girls together, do what fraternity guys would do in college, right?
Yeah.
Well, we graduate and things fade. Now I know Matt has kids. I know he's married to Julie. I know he has 2 kids. And every other day, Matt's posting these pictures on Facebook. So even though I haven't seen Matt in 17 years, if I were to walk down the street or walk down the grocery aisle and I see Matt today, because I'm consistently seeing his image and his face with his kids, I would equally walk up to him and say, hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing, man?
Yeah.
But if Matt wasn't on Facebook or I wasn't connected with him, I could equally walk past Matt the same way and not even know who the hell he is.
Yeah.
That's branding.
Mm-hmm. Consistent
Communication to the same audience over time, so that when real estate does come up, the first person they associate is your name with it.
I have to be, drop the mic on that one, because it is consistent communication to the same audience, but people think, well, I need a TV show, or I need to advertise, or I need to, well, in today's world, you don't, that's why we had, from the very beginning, literally the very first lesson, I did CR 101, and then I did the 7 things that matter most. And if you are new to the Daily Dose, I encourage you to go back and watch those 2 pretty brief videos that I did. CR 101, which I did on Thursday before we started the Daily Dose. And then Monday, the first Daily Dose, I did the 7 things that matter most. And I talked about creating and leading a Facebook group. If you had a big announcement to tell people about something, how would you do it? Would you go outside right now and yell it? Would you post it to your Facebook friends? But there's other people that, or are not Facebook friends with you. So the bottom line is you've got this Facebook group, which becomes this vehicle for you to consistently communicate with your audience. And maybe you don't want your clients to become Facebook friends. Maybe you keep Facebook friends as your friends. What a novel concept that would be. And then your Facebook group is for your clientele and your real estate and building like your professional network. I really believe that you've got this personal profile and you have this professional group. So you're building this group to network, contact, communicate with your professional network, but they're going to be like friends too. But it's one of those where that's where you consistently communicate in a way. And It really is consistent communication that doesn't chase them away. That's not repulsive. It's attractive messaging.
Here's what happens. Because like when we're in the course of the transaction with our clients, it's an emotional move. So like whether you're a buyer's agent and they're in the car with you, like you get close with these people, right? Yeah. And you share some intimate stories and whatnot. So it's natural that a relationship would develop. However, though, the same way that my relationship would fade with Matt if I fail to lose touch with him through Facebook, is the same way that our relationship would phase with any of our past clients. So 80% of buyers forget their agent's name after 6 months. And folks, if you're chasing transactions instead of running a damn business, you're never going to make it in the business, because no one lasts in a referral dominated business that doesn't generate referrals. Right.
Exactly.
And if not, you're just going to chase transactions, and it's only a matter of time until you burn out, because unless you're He-Man, you cannot prospect 24/7 for 20 years in this business. Nobody can do that. I mean, if you can, God bless you. But
you got to callous your heart so much that you may not be human anymore to your family or the people around you. Yeah. You've got to callous your heart to do that tough stuff all the time. And it's callous. You got to callous your heart to do callous stuff, and it's if you're callous over time, you're going to just become callous. And that's the problem with that, right? You don't want to be, you don't want your tombstone to say he was callous, or, look up the word if you don't know what it means, but it's one of those where, we have to callous our heart when we do callous stuff, and callous just means rude or without empathy or sympathy. And it's one of those where it's like, don't callous your hearts. I'm a heart surgeon. Mike is a heart surgeon. What we do is we take that callus off your heart so that you can just be who you are. And so, Mike, before we got to wrap this up, right? We've only got about a minute left here. You've got a free course that you're doing to help them become better at branding and become a local celebrity in their marketplace. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the way our services work are pretty simple. We either script edit and distribute your video content for you, or we teach you how to do it on yourself. And we have a lot of training on our site, just like yourself, we give away our content. We believe in give, and providing so much value that a small portion of you guys might actually hire us. Yeah. So it's very simple. The same way that I market my real estate business is the exact same way we market when I market my marketing business, same way we market a real estate agent's business. Yeah. And it's just a giant game of consistent communication to the audience through several channels.
So if they go to realestatemarketingdude.com, you have a lot of selection there. Great site, by the way. And so now, where do they need to go to get the free course?
So go to realestatemarketingdude.com. You click on training courses, which will be on the menu bar, and just scroll down that page, and then you'll see it. There'll be 4 or 5 different courses on there. Scroll to the bottom, you get the free version of that. And there's a ton of free content on the site. Check it out. Hopefully it gives you guys some value and some direction, sort of how you get your head around it. But don't overthink it. It's a lot simpler than most people think.
Yeah, that's a huge gift. Thank you. It's a do-it-yourself video boot camp. It's a free training online. You can watch it in the convenience of your own home anytime you want. You can do it at midnight. You can do it at noon, whatever it may be. But learn from this guy. Learn video from this guy. Learn branding from this guy. This is Mike Cuevas, the real estate marketing dude. Mike, thank you so much for being our guest today on the Daily Dose, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always a good conversation. One day we're going to have an event together. You teach the relationship side. I'm going to teach the marketing side. I think that'd be an unbelievable thing.
Hey, I'm going to hold you to that. This is being recorded, right?
Done.
All right. Let's make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being on this episode of the Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity. What have you been pleasantly surprised about during the quarantine times? We're always looking at the silver lining. We're always looking at the positives. We're always looking at the great things that are happening. I have been pleasantly surprised by the gift that Mike Cuevas has given to you today. It is a do-it-yourself video boot camp. You literally can watch those at your own convenience. Go to the realestatemarketingdude.com, go to the trainings, check out the free one that he's giving to you. You may want to even check into his paid services. But the bottom line is we appreciate you. If you're listening to this on referralspodcast.com, which I know thousands of you are every month, thank you. Do us a favor, share it, and then maybe rate and review this if you like the podcast today. Thank you so much, everybody. If you're watching it on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, and more great content will be coming. And we do special announcements on YouTube that we don't do anywhere else. So you will be getting some special stuff there. So bottom line, that is a wrap for the Daily Dose today. We will see you tomorrow with Stacy freaking Alcorn. Stacy Alcorn is on Leadership Mastery. Listen, this is a message that all the guests that we heard before, Many of the top people, the most influential leaders are like, when's Stacy going to be on? They're going to be listening. They're going to be watching. You need to be listening. You need to be watching. We'll see you next time on the Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity, brought to you by referralspodcast.com and the Generosity Generation. See you next time.